Most golfers completely misunderstand what the right arm should do in a golf swing. Golfers either bend it too early or throw away too hard. Both will completely destroy the strike you put on the golf ball. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use this right arm in your backswing and your downswing to compress the golf ball, control the club face and start striking it properly. There are two parts of the golf swing that the right arm really plays a huge role. When you're taking the golf club away and the transition, how this right arm works in takeaway and how it works in transition ultimately will deliver the golf club in a place where you feel like the club face is lined up. If you lose control of the club face, you lose control of your direction. And of course that means higher scores. As we start to move the golf club away, the right arm needs to fold. But when it folds is the crucial nugget, because all too often this right arm wants to fold too soon. Because a lot of the time in downswing, golfers are thinking about tucking that elbow. So when we take the golf club away, because this right arm can fold, it can rotate, and the wrists can set, there's three elements that you're really trying to take control of. Now, if you've seen enough of my content, you'll know I'm all about the pressure on the grip down through strike. And that pressure on the grip down through strike really helps you strike the ball down the fairway. There's your compression. Now, controlling the club face ultimately is going to come down to these three elements that I've just referenced. So when we set up to the golf ball, depending on where your trail hand sits on the golf club, whether the palm of the hand sits to the floor or whether the palm of the hand sits back in your face, this will dictate how your right arm in the early phase of your backswing works. Now, those regulars to my channel will know how annoying I can be when it comes to a grip. The grip is crucial. And the reason why most people's right arms don't work well is because their left hand is in the wrong place to start. If the left hand is in the wrong place, and you can find out exactly how to grip that golf club with the left hand in this video here, and if you're a member of my channel, you can catch this video down here. You'll recognize that this kink here is where the top hand needs to be placed. This right hand, when it's in place, creates a very similar kink with the right hand. Now, if you've got a kink with the right hand at address and you haven't got a kink with the left hand at address, lead hand, you're going to be out of balance with your grip. And so therefore, this is the reason why I see more than any other a grip that sits underneath with the trail hand, palm facing the sky, to make up the shortfall of the poor lead hand. So now we've established that the lead hand needs to be in good placement to get this right hand palm looking more to the floor. We can now start to see how the kink of that right hand starts to be present at address. So again, get yourself up off the couch and just do this with me. So set yourself up in your posture and put the palm of the hand to the floor. Get your fingers at 45 degrees that you can see here. Now what I want you to do is, as you make a backswing, I want you to feel how your arm is going to raise up. So you can see there's the flexion in the elbow, there's the arm lift, and there's the forearm rotation. So I've now got the palm looking back at me. So there's the kink, right arm, right hand. There's the flexion in the elbow. There's the arm lift. There's the palm back at me. That's the isolation of the arm lift, the forearm rotation, and the flexion of that arm. Now the bend of that right arm in a golf swing is always going to be present, because when we load the shaft, the arm will kick. Now, the reason why arms, as I say, don't kick in the right way is because the lead hand is usually in a poor place. Fix that, you can fix the right hand, and now all of a sudden you start to get this right arm flexing more into your downswing, which allows you to then start to hit the ball straighter to the target. So now we've got the lead hand in place and we've got the right hand in place, and we know exactly how the right arm lifts, it flexes, the palm looks back at us, which then ends up in a much better spot at the top there, which will start to give you a much nicer, cleaner downswing. So we want to feel how the grip with the right arm, the palm down, the right arm stays long for longer. So when we push down with the left hand and I kick the club head up, can you now see how both arms are long? I've not kicked this arm in. I don't need to kick that arm in until I start to get to the point where I start to feel more set of the golf club. Now you can see how the right arm kicks. If I get this right arm kicking too early, I get a detached move between arms and trunk. So I'm really feeling how this right arm stays long. There's the kink in my lead wrist, my trail wrist. And now all of a sudden, I've got some good movement with the grip of my chest as I move back. So I've got my right arm long, I've got some kink in the wrists that's lifted the golf club up, and you can see how that club head's out in front of you. Now all of a sudden, as I start to move my hip action and my chest moves around the golf ball, I now start to get the forearm rotation. The forearm rotation that allows the palm to start to look back at me. As I start to get the palm to look back at me, the forearm rotation, the palm looks back at me, this is where you start to feel the right arm kink. All too many golfers are making this right arm kink way too soon. And that really gets you out of orientation with the grip, and invariably you start to get the fanning of the face open. So we want to feel the right arm long, the club head lifting, because I've now got a push down with the lead hand and a pull up with the right hand, but both my arms are long. Now you can see my grip is still in the middle of my chest. As I now lift the golf club up, I'm going to start to point the palm back at me. And there's the kink of the right arm. Now all of a sudden, I've got the palm of the right hand starting to look back at me. I've got the right arm loaded, which now gives me the feel that I've got the club face under control, and I've got the same shape of that lead wrist at address as I do at the top. So now we want to lift that golf club up, create the kink, and the palm back at me, and now pull that into target. So at that point, all of a sudden my right arm has got flex in it, palms back at me, and I've got arm lift. The three elements in that backswing. Now, the downswing. And if you've tried anything that ties your right elbow to your chest, burn it, because it will tie you up in knots, because it will just be offsetting what's the problem, the true problem of your golf swing. And that's most of the time. The lead hand is out of orientation. You can't get your trail hand in the right spot so that you can get your right arm soft on the way down. So now as I'm pulling that golf club, that right arm that I started to load halfway in my backswing is maintained. And I now pull the club. I've not tried to tuck my arm. I've loaded the club shaft, I've loaded my shoulders, and I've now pulled the club underneath me. Now at this point, the right arm is soft because I've got load in the shaft, not because I'm tucking it into my body. That is garbage, my friends. You really got to stop doing that, because that is not going to help your golf, I promise you. So we've now got the right arm flexed. I've pulled the golf club into strike, and it's at this point when my left leg and the swing moment start to work together, which allows that golf club to start to unload, which gives me that angle of attack, that path line, and that nice face to path that hits my draw. So this right arm has lift, has flexion, and has rotation in it. It has lift, it has flexion, and it has rotation in it. And then I move all of that around the golf ball with some good hip action and chest mobility. You can find out a little bit more about hip action and chest mobility in my members content up here and down here. For a small fee, you get a lot of content that's really going to help you with your golf game in a nice, ordered fashion. So, to soften off that right arm, halfway into your backswing, when you feel the forearm rotation, allows you to pull it and trade it off with your leg action that'll allow you to hit it pretty straight down the target. So we've talked about getting that right arm loaded in the backswing, pulling in the downswing, that will create that tuck, that will create that load in the right arm. You don't need to hold that right elbow to the chest on the way down. That will tie you up in knots. Are you tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves? Head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are gloves tried and trusted by elite amateurs and tour players alike. Enter my code GOODCOACHING to receive 10% off your next order. Go try them out. You won't be disappointed. If you've got any thoughts on anything that I've talked about today, do drop a comment in the box below. And that, my friends, is good coaching.